If you find yourself carrying a shame of a father's rejection that feels older than your memory, as if your very presence was once found unacceptable, stay here for a moment. Take a slow breath and arrive here. You do not need to analyze anything. Let the words land where they land. Your body will take what it needs. And begin. I feel a deep sense of humiliation about being rejected by my father. I feel as if something about me was secretly shameful. I feel like other people knew something humiliating about me before I did. I feel as if I was being watched or mocked without knowing it. I feel betrayed that this information about my life was known by others before me. I feel exposed and self-conscious about my existence. I feel shame about being happy or joyful. I feel like my innocence was something people could laugh at. I feel like being open or vulnerable makes me look foolish. I feel like people may know something about me that makes me less worthy. I feel afraid of being humiliated again. I feel like I must stay alert and guarded around others. I want to feel that my existence is not shameful. I recognize these are experiences arising within my awareness, not truths about who I am. Even though a part of me carries this deep humiliation and the fear that my existence is shameful, and even though I feel watched and exposed, I acknowledge this is a passing pattern arising in consciousness, not my real or permanent self. I don't understand why his love felt like it had to be earned. I thought if I was just better, he would stay. I feel small and hidden, like I shouldn't take up space. I remember the moment I realized something was wrong with me. I feel my stomach tighten when I think about being seen. I feel like everyone is in on a secret about me that I don't know. I feel my face get hot, even now, as if I'm being laughed at. I believed my joy was a mistake, something to apologize for. I thought being open meant I would be hurt. I feel so tired from watching myself all the time. I notice my mind observing this heavy feeling in my chest. I feel like a fool for ever trusting anyone. I feel afraid that the shame will never really leave. I notice the thought that I am unworthy, and I see it as just a thought. I breathe into the place that holds this old pain. I notice my body is still breathing, even while holding this. I am here, watching these feelings move through me. I remain steady as this experience arises and passes. Underlying beliefs. Something about me is fundamentally flawed and shameful. People can see my flaw even when I cannot. I am the last to know the truth about my own unworthiness. Being happy makes me a target for ridicule. Vulnerability is dangerous and leads to humiliation. I must remain hypervigilant to protect myself from being exposed. My emotional mechanism of constant scanning for threat was an attempt to anticipate and avoid the next rejection. The ego play of preemptively shrinking was a strategy to become invisible and therefore safe. I recognize these beliefs are patterns from past experiences and are not my true self. The outdated role of the hidden, shameful child once served to protect me from the pain of rejection, but this protective structure is being outgrown and is no longer aligned with who I am now. Adult self, gently turn toward your inner child. I'm sorry to my inner child who experienced the pain of feeling rejected by their father. I'm sorry you felt you had to hide your joy to be safe. I'm sorry you believed your innocence was something to be mocked. I'm sorry you felt alone with a secret shame that was never yours to carry. Inner child speaks. You see me and I don't feel like hiding right now. It feels a little less heavy with you here. Adult speaks. I give you permission to heal from this old wound. I give you permission to forgive yourself for the shame you carried. I release any guilt and shame you have been holding. I honor our journey together through this pain. I love you exactly as you are. You are safe to let go and be yourself because I am here now, always here to protect you. These feelings are just passing experiences. They are not defining reality. Now that we've felt and honored the experience, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. Message from higher self. Your worth was never negotiated in the gaze of another. It was always whole and complete. The belief in a secret shame was an illusion born of a child's need to make sense of rejection, a misunderstanding that the truth now gently dissolves. The watching eyes you feared were a projection of your own inner critic, and in stillness, you find only the vast, peaceful awareness that was always watching over you. Thoughts, fears, and emotional reactions are temporary appearances in consciousness, like clouds passing through a clear sky, and the true self is always whole, untouched, and free. The ask, inner child. I give myself permission to feel the air in my lungs without wondering who is watching. I allow my shoulders to drop just a little and notice what it feels like to not brace for impact. Adult self. I make the grounded choice to stay present with this child, even as the old fear of being foolish whispers. I choose to keep breathing, to keep my hand on my heart, while something new and quiet is given space to be felt. Higher self. I allow this experience to unfold in its own time, in the body's own way, without needing to understand or direct it. I release all control over when or how this shifts, trusting that awareness remains stable while sensations, thoughts, and impulses arise and pass. Bridge into your new reality. Earlier there was a contraction when I thought of being seen, and now I notice a slight expansion, a simple permission to let my face be visible. Where once my joy felt like an invitation for mockery, now I feel a faint, warm hum in my chest that asks for nothing from anyone. The old feeling of being watched by a mocking crowd has settled, and in its place is just the simple sensation of my own breath moving through me, noticed only by me. Reclaim your power. I now choose to release the disempowering belief that my existence is shameful, embracing the wisdom that my worth is inherent and was never lost. From the place of the observer, I see clearly that the self witnessing this entire process has always been untouched, capable, and free. Seeing it done, I imagine myself now moving through the world with a quiet, unshakable sense of okayness, my gaze soft and meeting others without the old flinch of anticipation. I see myself laughing genuinely in a room full of people, and the sound doesn't startle me or feel dangerous. I feel my feet on the ground, solid and present, and the thought passes through me, I am just here, and that is completely fine. My body knows how to relax in the presence of others. I feel a natural, unforced warmth when I am seen. I can be happy, and it feels as ordinary as breathing. Now experience a new future. The moment arrives, the one where I would normally feel the familiar tightness in my chest, the signal that I am about to be seen and found lacking. I notice a person's attention turn toward me, and instead of a jolt of alarm, I feel my breath continue, smooth and unhurried. My stomach stays soft, not clenched into its old protective knot. I feel the ground beneath my feet, solid and real, and I know I am here in my body right now. A thought arises, they might be judging me, and I watch it float by like a leaf on a stream, without grabbing onto it. I notice my own face, and my expression isn't frozen or fixed, it simply is. I feel a gentle warmth in my hands, resting at my sides, open. My eyes meet theirs for a moment, and I feel a surprising calm, a simple acknowledgement without the old story. I notice my shoulders haven't risen to protect my neck, they are where they belong. My voice when I speak comes from my chest, not my throat, and it feels steady. I feel the rhythm of my words, unhurried, with space between them. I notice I am not scanning their face for the hidden mockery, my attention is soft and diffuse. I feel a sense of ordinary presence, like I am just another person in this space. The old urge to shrink or disappear arises faintly, and I feel my body remain exactly where it is. I breathe into the moment, and the air feels cool and easy. I feel my spine lengthen, not in a rigid way, but with a quiet sense of support. I notice a flicker of amusement at how much energy I used to spend on this. The thought I am safe here feels like a fact in my body, not just an idea in my mind. I feel my heart beating, a steady and neutral rhythm. I notice the silence between us is not filled with threat, it is just silence. I feel my presence here is unremarkable, and that feels deeply peaceful. I am not performing, not hiding, just being, and nothing terrible happens. I feel the moment complete itself naturally, and I move on without needing to replay it. A sense of ease settles into my limbs, like a gentle tiredness after a long-held tension has finally released. I feel the newness of this, and my body accepts it as real. I feel a quiet satisfaction, not from achievement, but from simply having stayed. I know deep in my cells that this is how it can feel, ordinary and safe. Allow this felt sense to continue integrating naturally in the body and in life. Take a deep breath, feel the shift, and smile. Let this settle gently. There's nothing you need to do right now. You can return to this whenever you feel called. Be gentle with yourself.